Yisbarach shu elokei shemaim v'oretz. God's presence is heaven and earth. Heim bis hamigdash gam kein hu shenivra la'atzmo. Yisbarach shamishkon shchinoso shmo nikra labayis. That's his location. Kach Yisrael heim nivrom la'atzmo. Yisbarach Klal Yisrael, they're an entity exclusively for Hashem. Dahainu shibsol toila lukuso. God's presence is represented by who? By us in the world. Keiman shenikro shmo Yisbarach al Yisrael was a shomer hakosuv. V'chrisu eshmeinu min ha'oretz matas l'shibcha godol. That if our name is obliterated from the earth, what are you going to do to your great name? Without Klal Yisrael, there is no God. Harei kol elu dvarim shein kinyan shkol dov shetzorach lo'odam ma'od shemishamish lo konos o elov. Something which is the utmost necessity, that's considered your acquisition. Chen omer b'sifri, which means without Klal Yisrael there is no God. That means it's the Klal Yisrael is the necessity. You can't get along without it. Existence, God's objective of purpose cannot be unless you have heaven and earth. The Beis HaMikdash, you need a Beis HaMikdash because God needs a location for His name should dwell. That's the Beis HaMikdash. This was what's mentioned in the Medrash. Initially, the intent of creation was what should be His location? The earth. But because Adam made of the Eitzadas, so therefore the world wasn't appropriate to be the location because the world was putrefied because of the Chet of Adam. This was the Mishkan, V'shachanti B'sochem. So the Beis HaMikdash, it's inside because that addresses the initial objective of creation. The God should be in the terrestrial level. It has to be on earth. So you need a Beis HaMikdash. Even though that may not, that's the Chazal we said. The Kom Nikmas Hashem B'Yisrael. Right? Originally Hashem said to Moshe, Nikom Nikmas Yisrael B'Yisrael. B'Midjan. But Moshe, when he spoke to the Jews, he said, Nikom Nikmas Hashem B'Midjan. So Hashem says to Moshe, I said Nikmas Yisrael, avenge the vengeance of Yisrael. What did you say, Nikmas Hashem? So Hashem said, so Moshe says to Hashem, he says, before Kabbalah Torah, we weren't the arch enemy of the world. But since we received the Torah, that's why they want to destroy us. So why do they want to destroy us? Because we represent you. That's exactly what the Medrash is saying. Even though in their mind that's not what it is, but factually that's what draws them. That's what we're the world's target always.
So by saying Klal Yisrael, it has to be Klal Yisrael. Is it saying that Adam was Klal Yisrael?
Exactly. Not too long. He was qualified. All humanity could have been Klal Yisrael. No, it took 10 generations. Right. Took more than, took 20 generations. We had Adam to Noach, Noach to Avram.
So there's no Klal Yisrael for that period of time.
Well, there's no Klal Yisrael, ultimately, there's no Klal Yisrael. That's the reason why until, we have 26 generations, Kilo Olam Chazdo. Until Kabbalah Torah, it's all Chesed Hashem. The world had no value unto itself. It was only it was God's Chesed. Even though God's name was not known in existence, God's chesed maintained it because ultimately it was going to arrive there. Right? There's a Ramchal. The Ramchal writes the concept of tzaddik, Rosha v'tovlo. Right? It's a similar concept. Right? The first 26 generations of existence, the world wasn't worthy. It was Hashem's chesed, and then ultimately there was Kabbalah Torah. Okay? So he says, what do we have? Rosha v'tovlo. The Rosha, he doesn't deserve. But what about if the Rosha ultimately is going to have a descendant who's going to be a tzaddik? Only God knows that. So Hashem has to provide for the Rosha to plan for the future. That's the idea. So similarly, initially the world wasn't worthy. Right? There was Noach. Even Noach wasn't sufficiently worthy. Because ultimately there was going to be Avram, and Avram was going to be the founding father, to be a Klal Yisrael. So therefore it was worthwhile for Hashem to maintain existence with chesed for what ultimately was going to come. It's the concept of Rosha v'tovlo. That's it. Why is God providing for the Rosha? Not only because he's deserving, he's undeserving, but because you can't have a future unless if he destroys the Rosha, there's no future. That's one of the approaches. What? What do you mean have choice? No, that's not what he's saying. the Rosh's 5th generation will be a tzaddik. The Rosh has no worthiness. But if you kill the tree, there's no fruit in the future. That's it. So he has to allow the Rosh and maintain the Rosh, even to provide for the Rosh. So ultimately, to be a tzaddik in the future, otherwise there's no tzaddik in the future. You know what the Gemara says in Chelek? It says, B'nei bonov shel Sancheriv, lom tor b'nei Brak. Shnai Vavtalion, B'nei bonov shel Haman, Harosh. Haman's grandchildren also studied Torah b'nei Brak. Right? All his children weren't killed. No, it doesn't say he killed all his sons. He had 10 sons. And he had 10 sons. Besides, he had many more children. Okay? Yeah, sure. Klal Yisrael would have been the base of English. We would have been, they wouldn't have the structure. A person who inherited from his father 10 fields, and then the son went and purchased another field, and that field to him was more special than the 10 fields that he inherited. I mean, the 10 fields, he didn't need the 10 fields. He inherited them. But the 11th field that he purchased, he purchased the field because he needed the field. So therefore, no, he's not saying that. He's not saying that. He says, why did he buy the 10th field? Because he needed the 10th field. So because he needed it to facilitate a specific purpose, the 10, they just came to him. It's not he needed it. It's an inheritance. He does own it. But that's not called kinyon. Kinyon means when you purchase something where it's vital for your function and for your objective, to bring that about. Person can inherit many things, even things he doesn't need. Well, then afterwards you spin it off, you just sell it to others. But if you purchase something, acquire something, which is a necessity for your existence, that's called kinyon. No, that's what he said. Why did he purchase? He has 10 fields. Why is he purchasing an 11th field? Evidence, he's explaining it. Maharal evidently had a reason to purchase it. No. That's not. No, that's what he's not saying. That's what Nachim wants to say. No. He's saying, Gamken ki adov shu elov legamri la'atzmo kono so lo dov shein tzorach elov kol kach shein kona. He says ach ef sheyipol lo birusha av dov shein tzorach kol kach. You can inherit something that you don't need. So you have the 10th field. So why did he purchase the 11th field? So he needed it. He needed the 11th field. Evidently, the 10th couldn't provide what the 11th field could provide for him. Yeah, but I'm saying it's not. But that's what he's explaining. Legamri means that because it's truly something he needs. It's what you inherit, you don't necessarily need what you inherit, even though you own it. You totally own it. But that's not called your kinyan. It's not your acquisition. Same thing. All the 5 things mentioned in Mishnah, they're necessities because they're vital for Hashem's presence and existence. All the 5 things listed: heaven and earth, Avram Avinu, the Beis Hamikdash, Klal Yisrael. Without that, God's existence cannot function in existence. So they were the utmost necessity. That's the word kinyan. Because without them, he has no name. His objective of things, each one. Okay.